9 minutes before the hour, Michael Patrick Shields with Congressman Mike Rogers. How many years in office now?
10 years.
I was laughing when the lady who spoke with us earlier said she voted for you from the beginning, and I said she was one of the 22 that put you over the top,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Was it really that close?
88 votes. Yeah.
88 votes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 45 people really could have changed the direction of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure those 45 people may regret it today.
How long did it take to get the result in that first congressional
38
election?
days later, after the election day closed and came and went, and we had recounts and all of that stuff.
Wow. I wonder if our primary, which is 26 days away, we may have some of that in some of these races, as splintered as it seems.
Could be, yeah. It's a rare thing. That was the closest congressional race in the country that year. Oh, and if you remember how close the presidential race was that year, same. But it was, that was something. I don't recommend it.
Nail biter. Will in Lansing, you're in the air with Congressman Mike Rogers. Question?
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Certainly.
Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you, sir.
My question, I'm a retired GM worker, and I worry about my co-workers that are currently still working. Many have been laid off. Jobs have been eliminated. The unemployment situation is bad here in Michigan, as you know. Do you support holding back on the unemployment for people who are currently laid off, at least here in Michigan?
Holding back, I'm not sure what that means, but last week I supported the extension of the benefits. I voted for it reluctantly, and I'll tell you why. Not because I didn't believe the extension should happen, but they didn't pay for it. And as much money as they spend absolutely wildly stupidly in Washington, D.C., it was offensive to me that we couldn't find $30 billion in cuts in other places to pay for something as important as people's unemployment extension. Now, I voted for it because I just didn't believe that their incompetence should cost the people who are maybe not being able to make their car payment or their house payment this month. And I know it's over in the Senate. I think they'll probably work it out, but I hope they work it out in a way that pays for it. Remember, we have a $1.6 trillion deficit, and I can give you a list of 5,000 things that are really good ideas, but it's not a good idea if it jeopardizes the future financial health of the United States. It's not. And so we've got to come to grips with the fact that we cannot spend money the way we have. That being said, I did vote for the extension of unemployment. Had it been a different folks in charge of the U.S. Congress, I think we would have paid for it and extended it. And by the way, we wouldn't have waited till the last week to do it.
There was a caller earlier who suggested that you should be president one day. If you suddenly woke up and you were president today, what would be the one thing that you would do immediately?
We have to balance the budget. And you can't probably do it the first year, but you can do it over a course of years. And you can do it in a way that doesn't they'll say, well, the first thing that when you say cuts, everyone says, oh, you're going to throw Sally Mae out on the street with her 2 kids. You can do this in a way, believe me, they waste a lot of money in Washington, D.C. You have to balance the budget. You have to get capital back to small business. If we don't do that, we're not going to get out of this recession. That's why it keeps lumping along. And you have to have some certainty. It's okay if businesses in America make money. Matter of fact, that's how we got here, where we are today. And if we keep in this notion that a business making money is a bad thing, guess what? Jobs will not return to Michigan, to the country, to the United States. We've got to be competitive again. So you stop spending money in Washington. You make it so that businesses can compete against anybody in the world by having a flat rate tax, the fact that they can get capital from banks, not the government, from banks, who ought to be back in the lending business. You start doing those very simple things and stop, I'll tell you, the uncertainty in the market for businesses, our cap and trade, and this very large 118 new bureaucracies in healthcare makes it so that they don't want to hire new people. They don't understand what their costs are going to be. You eliminate those things, watch the economy come roaring back.
Can it happen?
Well, I hope November offers a dose of reality for the folks who think all great ideas and all problems are solved in Washington, D.C. I really do. And if it doesn't, it won't be solved. We're going to be lumping along, and they're going to find some new program that doesn't really help anybody but costs a lot of money. If there's a change in November, I honestly believe that we can change some of this and get the economy back moving again. And the Congress is where the budgets start and stop according to the Constitution. So even though the president asks for a whole bunch of money, doesn't mean Congress has to give it to him.
In the last 45 seconds, how's life for you now?
Life is good. I mean, there's obviously a challenge. I've never seen people so invigorated for politics. That's exciting to me. I did a town hall recently, or a little coffee, basically, and there were so many people showed up at this coffee, I had to stand up on the table to do it. And I knocked over the napkin thing. Sorry to the restaurant owner. Apologize for that. But I'll tell you, it was exciting that people are engaged in it. This is a representative democracy. It only works if you get up off the couch and go down and vote. This is our government. We have to do it together.
Starts in 26 days when our primary in Michigan happens on a Tuesday in August, when you'd probably rather be at the beach. Give it a try, though. Thank you very much for the hour.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks,
Congressman Mike Rogers. Adios and via con Dios to the television viewers. Radio listeners, stay right where you are. We'll be back for another hour of this all across Michigan. I'm Michael Patrick Shields.